In today's video, I'm going to give you 14 tips on how to impress a girl on the first date. That's right, 14 tips on how to impress a girl on the first date, and this will help develop attraction. All right, if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Kane. I'm the Silver Bachelor. This channel is 100% dedicated to dating advice for older guys. And if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button and the notification button because I'm dropping a video every day. All right, let's just get straight into this, man. Tip number one, when you match or meet her, so if you match with her on a dating app or you meet her organically, within 24 hours, ask her out on a date, all right? And when you ask her out on a date, you say, look, I think you're cute and I'd like to take you out on a cute date or something like that, right? What's your availability on Friday? Because I'd like to take you to this place and I can pick you up at 7 o'clock, as an example, right? You need to, within 24 hours, you show her your intent to book a date and you tell her the location and the time and the day. That's number one. Number two, you need to choose a place with a vibe. Now, when I say vibe, I know that's a bit of an obscure term, but women like a place with a vibe, meaning maybe the place has a DJ. Maybe the place is 70s disco theme. See where I'm going with this? It's got something unique about it. Maybe, in fact, there's one restaurant, I live in Atlanta, there's one restaurant in the restrooms, not real guns, but they have, in the restrooms, there's a wall. You know, you're standing there doing your business and the wall is guns all down the wall, right? It's pretty wild. Not real guns, but it's a wall of guns, okay? So a place with a vibe, nothing athletic. And I know some women are like, whoa, I love something athletic. Okay, fine. It depends on the woman. Like maybe you want to go axe throwing or something like that. But in general, the first date, the woman wants to look sexy for you. And it's hard for her to pull off a sexy look when you're doing something athletic. And I know you guys might think, whoa, athletic is fun. It's different. But it's the first date. This is what I'm talking about. This video is for the first date. Choose a place for drinks or for dinner that has a vibe. And you might disagree with me, but I don't care what you think. Because even Millionaire Matchmaker, okay, that show, Millionaire Matchmaker, she's matching millionaires. Females and males. Okay, these people have a ton of cash. And this show, it's a very successful show. And she said the perfect first date is dinner and or drinks. That's what you should do on the first date. I love that because, and you can go for happy hour at a place, so it's a lot cheaper. But I love that because you get to know the person a little bit, right? And it's more intimate and it's more not casual, but so dinner and or drinks, or you could just do hors d'oeuvres and cocktails or something like that. Because again, you want to just get to know them on the first date. Nothing crazy athletic, right? So, all right. So number three is offer to get her Uber, or if depending on where she lives. So I live in Midtown Atlanta, and a lot of people live like an hour away, bro. That's a long time. So you could say, look, happy to get your Uber or compensate you for your gas. You're just putting it out there. More times than not, I've had women say, oh my God, that's so thoughtful of you. Thanks. But no, it's okay. Right? Because a lot of women, they feel like they don't want to owe you something. And I totally understand that. Or some women say, you know what? I'll take you up on that Uber and therefore I can have some drinks with you. Right? So don't assume that she has a car, first of all, because maybe she doesn't have a car. And now she's thinking, ah, shit. So, but actually, let me rewind. Before you ask her out, ask her where she lives in the city. Because then you can choose a place that's closer between the two of you. Ideally, you choose a place that's near your place, so you're not traveling too much. But if she has to travel far to you, then offer to get her Uber or some gas money for her to come your way. All right, depending on how far it is. And again, more times than not, she's going to say, no, it's okay. But she's going to appreciate your gesture. All right. So number 4 is you show up early on the date, right? And then you text her and say, hey, I've arrived, or you text her and say you're on your way. Because it's more traumatizing for a woman to be stood up than a man. So she's in her mind, she's thinking, oh shit, am I going to get stood up? So you want to alleviate any of that. And then when it comes very close to your meeting time, is to tell her, hey, look, I'm on the way, and ETA for me to arrive there is at 7 p.m., right? So let's say she says she's going to meet you for 7:15. That's fine. You just say, hey, I'm going to be a little early, but no worries. I'll wait for you at the restaurant bar or something like that, okay? So that's number 4. Number 5 is you need to dress stylish and appropriately for where you're going, okay? And what I mean by this, and I just have a personal thing about it, and so do women, do not wear a baseball cap on your first date, bro. I get it if you're doing something athletic or you're going to a sports game. But in general, leave the damn baseball cap at home. Get rid of that shit. And I don't care if you're balding. Look at me. Do you think I'd care about this? I don't wear the baseball cap. It makes you look like a little child, and women don't want to be a mother to the guy that she's dating, okay? So no baseball cap, no t-shirts, unless you have the body to rock that, right? Or you're wearing a t-shirt underneath a blazer or a leather jacket or something cool, right? But don't be showing up on the date with a baseball cap, a t-shirt, sandals, shoes that look like bathtub toys, okay? No tie, unless you're coming from work. Then you need to tell her, hey, look, when we meet, just FYI, I'm coming straight from work, so I will be wearing a tie and blazer. Women are okay with that. Just give them a heads up. But if you're not going to work, don't think you need to impress her by wearing a tie. And plus, it's too formal, man. So no tie and no blazer. Unless it's a cool looking blazer or you're rocking it. Like, for example, I've had some dates where I would come right from work and I would be wearing a blazer, like a t-shirt or something underneath the blazer, or maybe a blazer dress shirt, but I'm wearing jeans and dress shoes, but like kind of stylish dress shoes, right? So that's the thing. You have to be very careful of what you're wearing and wear something stylish and appropriate for where you're going, okay? So number 6, good hygiene. I mean, this is some basic shit, but I need to go into this. Cut your damn nails. Like, I'm about to cut my nails. My nails, I keep them a maximum this length, as you can see. So most importantly, you need to trim your nose hairs and you need to trim your ear hairs, because women are noticing these details, man. And you need to smell good, but don't spray too much cologne on, because you never know if the woman that you're meeting has any allergies. In fact, what I do before I even book the date and some of our communications is I will say, oh, hey, do you have any food preferences? Maybe she's vegetarian. Maybe she doesn't like seafood. So I want to know this up front. And then I'll say, do you have any allergies? And if she says, no, I don't, and I'll say, okay, because I do like cologne, and I just want to make sure you're okay with that. Because I've had situations where the person has said, oh my God, thank you so much for asking, because I actually have a reaction to strong fragrances. And imagine you blew your first date because you have too much of this going on and you don't even realize. And it's now she's got an allergic reaction. The date's called called short. Well, not all could have been preventative, right? Okay, so good hygiene. Number 7 is none of this 50-50 nonsense. And I'm going to put it out there, bro. Any of you guys that are wanting to go 50-50 on the first date, it's because you can't afford to pay for the first date. I'm sorry. I'm just putting it out there, man. No gentleman worth his salt would ask to go 50-50 on the first date. Like, you fucking kidding me? What's wrong with you? Women want a provider. They want a man's man. They want an alpha man. You don't have to spend $200 on the first date. You can go for happy hour and spend 75 or whatever, but who cares? You guys need to do this more often. Less dates and more quality dates, right? Of course, I've had ones and dones, right? Where it's been a one date and they're gone after the first date. But that's fine. It's a cost of doing business. Just think about that way. This whole 50-50 nonsense, you guys need to get that damn out of your brain. That's nonsense, and women hate it. Okay, number 8, you need to sit beside her at the bar. So I always sit at the restaurant bar. Ideally, the restaurant bar has backs, right? So it's more comfortable. So, and you can sit close to her. Your legs are touching. She's touching your arm. That's what I mean. Do not sit at a traditional table because you can't touch her. And when you're sitting beside her, you can engage in better conversation. And you might be thinking, well, Silver Bachelor, my neck's going to get sore. Well, deal with it. If she's beside you, her leg, if she's interested, is going to start touching you. She's going to touch you on the shoulder. That's what you want in the first date, okay? So number 9 is you need to make her laugh. Man, Russell Brand is a master at this, at making people laugh, and laughter is the number one thing that she's going to get attracted to you. Obviously, the physical aside, you could have all the physical characteristics, the height, the money, whatever. But if you're not making her laugh, she's not going to get attracted to you. And that's one of the quickest ways to develop attraction is through laughter. All right. Number 10, no religion, no politics. Stay the hell away from those topics. Even if she brings it up, just laugh. Like, for example, right? I live in the United States, in Atlanta. There's an election coming up in November. It's Kamala Harris and Donald Trump, pretty much. I'm pretty sure those are going to be the two candidates. So if she says, this is the first date, right? If she says, so what do you think of Kamala Harris? I would say, look, I'm Canadian. I can't vote anyways. But as Canadians, we look at America and the situation and we think, really? That's the two best you've got? That's the best that you have in the entire country of 300 million people for presidential candidates? And then I'll start laughing. So then she will most likely start laughing. So, well, yeah, I guess you're right. And I'm like, I'll say both candidates are kind of a joke, to be honest. So that's what I mean. So you can sidestep conversations about politics, but politics and religion can be very, very heavy. So avoid those. Number 11, let her talk. In fact, use the 80-20 rule. 80% of the time on the first date, she should be talking. And you just ask her questions, right? And that's one of the ways she's going to develop attraction. You have no idea how many times I've heard other women say that they didn't go on a second date with the guy because for the first 30 minutes, 45 minutes, it was him talking the whole time. So let her talk. Number 12, assume the second date. So you could say things like during the first date and say, hey, well, the next time we get together, we should do this. That's what I mean. So you're assuming you're going to get together anyways, and that's attractive to her. Number 13, no touching unless she touches you, all right? And I know some of you guys, you might find her attractive, and you're like, oh my God. But believe me, man, believe me in this. If she's attracted to you, she will start touching you. Her leg will touch your leg. Her arm will touch. She'll put her hand on your arm. She'll start laughing. Ha ha, that's so funny. Ha ha ha. And all of a sudden her hand's on your knee. So when she starts touching you, then basically that she's giving you permission to start touching her, but in a nurturing way. And again, you always, so with respect to touching, you start with the hands, right? And then you can touch her leg a little bit. All right. So last is no kiss on the first date unless she comes in to kiss you. So this is something that I do. I'm a gentleman, and I usually don't go in for the first date. The kiss on the first date. It could be awkward, and it's very circumstantial, right? And situational. So in general, I do not go in for the kiss on the first date. And I definitely do not ask, do you mind if I kiss you? No, and you don't need to ask ever. I usually go in for the kiss on date number 2 or date number 3. If I haven't kissed her by date number 2, she's in her mind, she's thinking, wow, does he actually like me? And now she's becoming a little insecure, which could be a good thing. But in general, I don't go for the kiss until date number 2 or date number 3. So thanks for sticking around. Hope you like these 14 tips on how to have an amazing first impression on that first date. And let me know in the comments if you'd like me to do other videos on this topic and some other ideas. All right, till next time, have a great evening, man.